Hi everyone, it's me, Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and a welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do just a real easy, laid back, tatted bracelet with beads. And it's not complicated. It's not a very big tatting project. It's just a very simple, easy to do, needle tatting bracelet. So some of the items that you'll need is some jewelry pliers, maybe some jewelry metal cutters. You'll definitely need to have a number 5 or a number 3. I'm using a number 5 Handy Hands tatting needle for this. The thread that I'm using, you can use thinner thread if you like. I'm using a number 5 crochet thread, and this is Artsy, and the color is Lilac, number 44, and it doesn't take much. I'm also using 3 beads. Now, these are rather large beads. Let me see here. We're talking 3/4 of an inch for the largest one, and the smaller one is just under 3/4 of an inch. So I'll set them side by side in my hand so you can see them. These are just some that I picked up in a little 98-cent baggie from Walmart. It has a bunch of different kinds in it, the same color, but here we are. Okay. So that'll be the beads that I'm using. I have a small piece of chain that's left over from doing a necklace, a lobster claw, and a jump ring. So those are the items that you will need for this tutorial, this project, if you want to play along with needle tatting with me. All right, I'm going to get things set up and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get things together for tatting. So we have our needle, it is threaded, and I have approximately, let's see, the piece that I have in front of me is approximately 32 inches long, so you don't really need a lot. My tail's going to be about the length of this section here from the lobster claw to the jump ring. That's all the more tail that I need. The rest of it is going to be used to create the spots and hold the beads. All right, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is take your jump ring and place it onto your needle and pass it down to your thread here. Let's see if I can get it where you can see it down there. Now we're going to, again, like I said, my tail doesn't need to be very long because I don't have a very big project. So I'm just going to hold it right there like that. And this is all the tail that I have. Which, let's see, I can measure it and give you a rough estimate as to how long it is. It's about 10 inches. All right, so my jump ring's already on here. I'm going to place my finger holding the thread to the back of my needle. Now we're going to do some double stitches. We're going to do 5 double stitches, and then we're going to place a bead. And like I said, I've got some rather large beads here. So there's 1 double stitch, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, if this is the first time you are seeing tatting, needle tatting, you can go back into a playlist. And in this playlist, it's a needle tatting playlist. And it goes over everything from the needle sizes to thread to books you can purchase, where to find needles, all of the basics, all the way into the beginning steps of your stitches and moving forward from there with different projects. All right, so now I'm just going to place one of the smaller beads onto my needle and let it slide down. Now I'm going to place 5 more double stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5. I'm going to place the next one, which is the biggest of the 3. I slide that work down. I'm going to place 5 more double stitches. 3, 4, and 5. And now we're going to place our last bead. We're just putting them on the needle and sliding them down so we have room, and do 5 more double stitches. This is all there is to this. It's not super fancy. It's just using some big beads. Okay, so there is my 5 double stitches. So all we have is our jump ring, 5 double stitches, 1 bead, 5 double stitches, 1 bead, 5 double stitches, 1 bead. All right, so now you're gonna hold the end down here and start sliding the needle and tail thread through, and you might have to just kind of assist it a little bit as you go, because that's a lot to take off your needle here. And we're just gonna pull it until that jump ring comes close to the very end down here. Kind of give it a little stretch to make sure nothing's all twisted up. Okay, so there we go. There's our jump ring on the end. Now that's just to hook into it from your lobster claw. So for instance, here's the lobster claw. You can place it on there just like that. So that'll be our place to connect. Okay. So now that we have it all off the needle, you kind of want to adjust it a little bit so nothing's too tight. You don't want it to be curling up. And we're just going to do a surgeon's knot or a double knot, however you want to call it. I go in through the loop twice. So that gives me 2 separate wraps there to create the knot. Then we're going to pull it tight, and then 1 more knot to finish it off. Okay, now that completes that. The next thing you want to do is pick up your chain, whichever, style chain you want, pick it up, and we're going to tie it on exactly the same way. In fact, get a little more slack here. Just going to wrap one around the other twice, and that'll hold it in place. And then we're going to do it one more time the other way. Just like that. And now we're going to sew in our ends. We're going to sew them back into these double stitches we have here. So I find the end of those double stitches, and I start getting my needle to go down into those double stitches. Now, if you have enough thread left over, I recommend going up into the bead with it. So I've got it going through the stitches. There we go. Going to go into the bead now and out the other end. Pull that tail all the way through that. There we go. I'm going to do that one more time. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and get my needle started in all those stitches first. And this is just to lock everything in place and hide those tails. Get those. There we go. Push that needle down in there. And you may need a needle threader. It's up to you and how hard it is for you to thread the eye of your needle. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. And now I'm going to pull that one through. Now we're done with our needle. So I've got it pulled down into that bead there. And I'm just going to cut the tails away and then give it a little bit of a stretch to hide that last little bit down into the bead. There we go. Now it's hidden down into the bead. All right. So the next step would be to take your tatted bracelet here, your beads, and lay it over your wrist and bring your chain around to a comfortable fit. Now you can do this, let's see. You can use, you know, the side of the table or whatever to kind of hold it in place. And you can use different types of bracelet fittings, whichever is best for you. So I'm going to find a comfortable where it's going to make it easy for me to clip and then put together. And I'm going to mark that spot with my thumb, come back over here, and I'm just going to cut the excess off. That's what we're going to start with. One more. All right. Now, if you want to, you can use another jump ring. Some of these different style chains are set up like jump rings, and you can use that to connect the two. That's why I didn't grab an extra jump ring, because this right here is already set up similar to one. So I'm just going to get over here to my lobster claw, place it on there, and then close it up. Now you can use some jewelry glue after you've connected these. Use some jewelry glue on that connection, on any of the connections that you did. And that way you just kind of ensure that it's going to stay together. Just some clear jewelry glue. Now that's not a necessity, but it is, you know, something that you can do, just an extra precautionary measure. So again, just a lobster claw here. Bring it over. There we go. Now I got it. So there we are. Just a basic, simple, needle tatted, nothing fancy, just beaded jewelry bracelet. All right, everyone. I hope that you have enjoyed this needle tatting tutorial on how to make a very easy bracelet. Kind of like a first after earrings, a little tatting project. All right. Be blessed, be a blessing, and until next time, bye for now.